Hello again, folks. This video is going to show you how to apply for a permit in the new community development system for Monroe County. We're going to just sign in first. The last video we showed you how to register. This video we're going to just sign in, and we're going to go ahead and proceed with a residential roofing permit. So the first thing you can do is, again, right in the middle here, you're going to see a big sign in button. You can also use this icon up at the top with the sign in here. I'm going to go ahead and use the big button in the middle. Now this screen may look a little different when the system actually is live. We're doing these videos a little ahead of time for you. So there may be some different icons of different colorization and look of this page, but the gist of it is going to be the same. Of course, you use and enter your user ID, which is, if you remember, your email address. I have mine saved. This will be the same for you. Most likely after a point, I would recommend you probably just have it saved. That way you don't have to worry about it, but you'll type in your email address there. You'll then type in your password. If for whatever reason you've forgotten your password, there will be a forgot password link. Again, this page may look just a little bit different when the system is turned on and ready to go. But for now, it's the same process of just like signing into almost anything else from a web perspective. Click the sign in button. And then you will get a page that looks something like this. So when you first start out and you first start doing permits, there won't be anything here. So your very first permit, there will still be all of these buttons. But you see here, I've been doing a lot of applications already. So I've got some outstanding fees in the middle so I can make payments here. I've got a cart up here that has all of those 31 applications in it as well. So that tells me that I can go to that page and make a payment. So giving you just a little bit of information on navigation and what you're seeing as you log in. And you'll see down here that I have over 300 applications. Of course, again, this is an environment where we've been running through a lot of things. So you'll have your application saved here. You'll see inspections that you have that'll be listed here. So this gives you the idea that once you start into the system and you're into it, creating multiple permits and scheduling your inspections and doing your day-to-day work as a contractor, as a homeowner, as someone that is in the system working with it, that when you come back, it's got all your information sitting as it is, and you can get to this very easily. There's abilities to estimate fees. You can use maps. So all of that's available. And but for this video, we're going to focus on applying for a permit. And there's two ways to do that. There's an apply button here, a large one on the left. And then there's in the middle, start an application, and you can click the go button. I'll go ahead and use the big apply button. And again, when you first come into the system, it will look probably something like this. So, well, it will, but when you start getting into it and doing more and you do your first set of permits, there will be a most recent list here. So you'll see permit types listed. There's also, if you click this permits button, you'll see that they are categorized. So anything from a residential perspective, if you click the arrow, you'll notice all of the different permit types under residential. You have an apply button out here on the right. You also have an estimate fees button further out to the right. You can click these little arrows to get a little bit more description if there's a ... at the end. And then you can wrap those back up. And then you can see there's commercial, environmental, fire prevention, temporary, parcel investigations. The other way to do this is just to simply go to the application type. And as soon as you click in, it's going to show the top permits that have been applied for. But if I just start to type in the word roof, you can see then it filters out. There's two different roofing permits, a residential and a commercial. We're going to go ahead and do a residential. So I'm going to click from there. You can also, again, click in that big menu, do the apply button there. So a couple of different ways to navigate in to get your permit ready to go. All right, this is pretty much what almost every permit's going to look like at the beginning. Is you're going to have a series of acknowledgments that you have to make, and they are required. So when you're going through this, you need to make sure that you click those check boxes. A couple of different things. There's a close application. If you decide you've picked the wrong one, that can happen, and you don't want to go forward with it, you can close it. In the middle are the steps that you'll go through. So you can see it goes all the way through. We've got a review page, attachments, details, fees. And also, if you're into wanting to just sort of scroll and fill everything out in one page, scrolling up and down, you can do a single page view, which will take all of these pages and put them here on this page, and your scroll bar will just get bigger so that you'll scroll down more and more. Otherwise, you keep it as it is, and you start filling out your acknowledgements. Read through them, check the boxes. If for whatever reason you forget one, so let me say I'm going to forget the asbestos, and I'm going to check the box and come down. And I'm going to go ahead and move with the next button. You'll see an error here. So it'll let you get to the next page, but now it's going to tell you where your issue was. So you can use your previous button. That will stay there until you fix the issue. So go back to previous, come down, and you'll see that it's highlighted and I missed the asbestos agreement. So I go ahead and check that, click next again. My error is gone. And now I'm at the description page. So single family roof. As far as description, be as descriptive as you can, of course, like you normally would. We have details that you'll fill out as to square footage, type of roof, whether it's slope, below slope. You'll see all of that as we go through, but the description is a great place to kind of get more information in so that the folks that are going to be reviewing this have what they need. So now I'm going to go ahead and click next. There you can see I talked about this in the registration video, that because I'm a registered user, this is all filled out for me. I don't really need to do anything here. There is the ability to add additional contacts if you need to, so other people. But what I do want to point out is this is not where you will enter contractors. So this would be an architect, possibly an engineer, someone in your back office if you are a contractor filling this out. Anything like that that you want to put in here, or any people that you want to add to this permit, you can do that here. So you click the add new contact. One of the things about your profile is you can set up people that are your contacts. In other words, people that work with you or that you're associated to. So you can actually speed up the process a little bit by having someone in this, some folks in the system, or you can go ahead and create a brand new contact, select them as the type of contact that you want. So let's say, again, this is an architect, and we'll say Sam Smith. And you can put the information in that you need to. And over here on the right-hand side, you can see add to profile. So as you put this person in, then you can check that box, and that will add them to that profile. So they will be on that list that you saw as I brought you into this part of it right away. So you can put whatever information you have. The minimal amount is what type of person is this, and what is their first and last name. I would recommend filling out more. But for this video, I'm going to go ahead and just save it so that you can see what I've done, and it adds that contact here, and you can continue to add with this plus button down on the right. I'm now going to go ahead and click next. Okay, here's the contractor page. This little switch in the middle here, are you a contractor or contractor's authorized agent? So if you are a contractor filling this out, you're going to flip that switch. What that does is it then is going to require that you add a contractor. So I'm going to go ahead and click add. I'm going to go ahead and put in roof, find contractors. You can look up by any of those things. License number, if you have it, is always good. The name of the license type and the name of the owner or business is great. That works as well. You will see that this is going to pull up all contractors in the system that have a business name with roof in it, and roof is even in this word. So if the more you know there, the better off you're going to be when it comes up with any kind of a search. So I will select this contractor. If you are the authorized agent, now the switch at the beginning was asking two pieces of a question. This one means you're not the contractor, but you are the authorized agent. That then allows you to use this contractor. It will also associate you will be associated to that contractor. I'm going to leave that off and click done. That now adds that contractor to this application. It is not required. If you don't flip that switch, you do not have to fill out a contractor necessarily. If you're the owner builder, for example, and you're not a contractor, you would leave that blank. I'm going to go ahead and click next. This is where you're going to put in your property address. You can see here it's checked off as address. That means when you're doing your search in here, that's what it's looking at mainly. It will also find the parcel and owner. And here you have a drop down that says contains or starts with. I would recommend you leave it at contains unless you know exactly what you want as far as an address is concerned. So you just start typing things in and you can see how it then gets down to just a specific address. So the more information you type here, the better you're going to be with your search. Or if for some reason it's not finding it, just start backing it out. And now you'll see that it expands out more. So the more information you have, the less options you will get. You can also use a map to go search for it. You can also select from a list. The select from list is going to bring up all the properties. So this one could take a little second or two to load up. And then you can do your search within that. That's another way that you can get your address in there. But this is a really good way to do it. Couple of things here. If the owner information appearing with this property is not accurate, check the box. I'm going to do that just so that I can show you some of the things and features of these applications. When I check boxes, there is a potential possibility that when you check that box or answer that question in the affirmative, most of the time affirmative, then you may end up getting more information. So for example, this is going to give you information about making sure that the owner is accurate, working with the property appraisers, getting that taken care of. This is going to have you enter fee simple title holders because you check those boxes. When you uncheck them, those things go away again. So look for that as you go through the information you're filling out. I'm going to go ahead and click next. Remember, these asterisks means it's required. So this is a replacement. We've already said that it's shingles, so I'll go ahead and select that. It's low slope. We'll say it's 2,000 square feet. It is not a manufactured home. There's no change in footprint. Here's another couple of affirmative answers that will get you more. So if you're going to use a private provider, where you click yes, but when you do that, you now have to answer the question of what they're going to do for you. So more information to then fill out. I'm going to go ahead and click no. Owner builder, if I click yes, more information for you to fill out regarding after the fact. If I click no, it turns those things off. I come down here and I have a job valuation. So I'm going to say it's $5,000. I have an owner agent reference property acknowledgement again that I have to make here. And on most of the permits, you're then going to see these trade work types. So if there's other work, electrical, mechanical, gas, and or plumbing, you will flip those switches. And you may then again see additional information you have to fill out about that type of work. I'm going to say this is just purely a roof job. So I'm going to leave all of those off. Now I go ahead and click next. And here you have your attachments page. Things that you're supposed to attach are these two things: construction drawings and a site plan for this particular permit. Depending on the permit, you may end up having more that you have to fill out or attach. It just is going to be, again, depending on the complexity of the job. If it's a brand new home, for example, you're going to have more information to fill out or more attachments. And then here you're going to see that we have built in links to certain forms and applications. So if you do need to attach things, we have links that go straight to where you can find those forms. So you just click on those. Now, to attach something, this is really important. The first thing you have to do before you actually add an attachment is click the save button. If you don't do that and try to add, it's going to tell you that you then have to save it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. So it's taking all of the information that you filled out so far and getting it seated and ready to go. We save it, and then we'll go ahead, and you'll see up at the top that little green bar comes down and it tells you it's been saved. Now I'm going to hit the plus button, and I'm just going to go into and grab a couple of documents here just for the sake of it. So I'll grab, say, this and click open. And then you put a description in if you'd like. So you can see I can add multiple attachments all in one fell swoop. So the 2 attachments I need, I go find them on my computer. And then you put a description in. Again, it's not required. You click upload, and those attachments will then sit in that grid that you see in front of you once they're set and ready to go. Again, notice the saved. You're good. If you have selected the wrong one, click actions, delete it. Other than that, you're ready to go. Click next. This is your review page. So this is a single view, just like you would see if you would have selected that at the beginning. We can come down here and edit any one of these sections. They're all available to you. There's edit buttons on each one. So if for any reason I selected, roof wood shingles and I meant something else, click the edit button, come over here, and we'll say it's metal panel / shingles, and then click done. And you can do that on any one of the sections that you see. Edit buttons on, just make sure you click done after you've made your edits. Click next. And now what you'll see is the fees that are there. There's $22.06 due at the beginning, and then these will all be pending fees, and those will end up becoming due somewhere down in the process of the application, and additional fees may be added. That's all explained up here in this link, or in this verbiage with the link in it. Once you're done, you think you're ready to go, you can quit here. You've already saved the application. So if you've saved it, then it goes into the system as a pending application. You can come back to it later and go ahead and open it back up and finish it off. You can close the application. That would be how you would do that. You can move back to previous pages. You can also use this as a navigation tool. Otherwise, if you think you're satisfied with what you've done, you click this submit button right here. That's taking everything and putting it into place. And then that's going to produce a permit with a permit number. It's going to go into a payment pending status, which means that you need to pay those fees. We can't process this permit any further until you do that. So now it adds it to, now again, when you do this and it's the first one, you will see one permit in here and that's it. Other than that, this is all of the applications that you'll make a payment on. We're going to go through that in a separate video, but that is basically your process of submitting a permit. Fill it all out, all the required fields, make sure you pay attention to those yes, no's and those check boxes and additional information that might come up. And then at the end of the process, if you're good with it, just click the submit button and you now have yourself a permit. And if you go back to the home page, that's going to get added into your applications here. If you click that applications button, you'll see the list of all of your permits, and there's the one we just created right there with the payment pending and your ability to then go in and make that payment if you want to just do it one at a time, as opposed to maybe dealing with the cart and selecting from that. It just depends on what you're doing and how you're setting it up. And that's it for creating and applying for a permit. That was a roof permit, and we will have multiple other permits in the list, as you saw, for you to fill out. Each one slightly different, but you'll see that they're going to be very similar in nature as you go through. It's just the detail that you're giving us. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. We will talk to you again soon in more videos. Bye-bye.